Hi everyone. In this video we will go a little bit different from where we started last night. So again, like what we started, depending on the environment that you are creating or developing the app in, so we can select whether it is a web or it is an iPhone Plus or Android, depending on the device that you have. And the purpose is, or the reason that we need to select the right phone that you have, so that way when we produce it or we implement it, we will be able to see exactly how it will work on your own device. So now we'll go in. For me, I will use iPhone since I have one, and then I will continue and go on. And today we will just kind of to remind you in this video, this software is free and it allows me to use video for 15 minutes, and then I will go ahead and record the next one. So again, here we are familiar with the environment of JustInMind. As you can see here, I have properties and outline, and I have in the left side the screen and the widgets and the events. If you don't have the events and the properties in your computer, you can just go ahead to view. I know you might not be able to see my menu tabs on the top, but you have a view. For example, now I'm clicking on the view tab, and then make sure that there is a check mark in front of properties and in front of events. So now I have kind of clean slate or canvas that I can go ahead and start designing the app. So today we will start a little bit different. Instead of creating the panels, we will just create two different screens, and then we will because the panels seem to have been overlapping and not really user-friendly. So instead of having two panels, we will just use two screens to make it much easier. So we'll start with the loading screen. So I will call this loading screen, so I can just, if it allows me to rename it, or we can just use it as is. So let's see. So the first thing that we need to do is to create that first screen, which is basically the loading screen. So in the loading screen, what we want to do is to create a splash form. So to create a splash form, we can just drag and drop it from here, from under widgets in our iPhone iOS. So drag it and drop it here. So again, now I will need to delete this icon, but remember, we will be always using the outline from the right side here to delete and modify content to make it easier, because some of you, when you were trying to delete the icon from the canvas, it deleted the whole splash screen. So to be sure, so we can just delete it from here, from the outline. So now it's deleted. Now I can just go ahead and find a nice logo that I need for my app. So if you go to Google icons or images, search for health icons, you will find a couple of them. So choose one that you are interested in. So for me, I selected this one, and then I saved image as, and then I saved it in my desktop. So now it is in my desktop. So now I will just go ahead and import that image from my desktop. It's already here. I'll just let that open. Again, now I am interested only in the image, so I will copy the image, and I'm not interested in this new screen, so I'll delete this new screen. So I'll go back to my splash screen, and then Control V, and I'm just going to adjust this, the height and width, to 100 by 100 for my logo. So now I can just put it here, and then I will add a new text, and then where it says here, loading my PHR. So I'll just type loading my PHR. Then I'll just make sure that it is in the center, and then the size also. I'll just go from properties here. It makes it easier for me to adjust, and it is asking me to put this size as 18 fonts. So I'll select 18 fonts, and again I'll make sure that it is centered. it looks good. There we go. Now I have my first splash screen, or the loading screen. Now I will add another screen. So now I will call it login. Login screen. So in the login screen, what I will need is to drag and drop a rectangle box or a rectangle shape, and then I'll modify it. I'll resize it. Now it has borders and everything, so it looks nice. Now we'll just put drag and drop text here to identify that this is basically direction about signing in. So I'll say sign in to your my PHR account. So then I can just modify this text. Let's say that I want it to be maybe 16. Make sure that it's symmetric, and then I can go ahead and add, just similar to the image that was provided to you at the end of the handout. And I'm going to adjust also the handout to change it from panels into two separate screens. So now we'll go ahead and drag, create a username. So here, oops, text box for username. And then another text box here for password. I'll just drag it and drop it here. So password. And then I will go ahead and also make sure that I have my icon, so I can just go ahead and borrow my icon from the first. I'll just copy it from my first screen. So I'll just go here and then Control V. So it's already here for me, so I can just drop it here somewhere. And then I will add the text box where the end user should be able to enter their username. So it is an input text field. So I'll just drop it here. So I will add borders to it, that way it is kind of recognizable. So I'll go to borders here, and then as you can see here, we can just click on this guy and say solid, make it easier. Again, I will just go ahead and do the same thing for password, drop it here, and then add solid. Now I'll just drag this a little bit down, and then I will create here something. I will create a logo, or actually a login button. So the login button, so I can just go and drag a button from here, from under widgets. So resize this guy, and then I'll just resize this button, and I can just keep it here. Now I need to change this, give it some nice borders. So let's say, and then the color, I'll change it to red. Then the borders, I need to give it real nice borders, that way it can show that I have something there. So I might just put it to a little bit gray. And then also the text, it will be nice if it is bolded. There we go. So now we have my login screen, and I have my loading screen. So now let's connect or create an event to connect those two guys. So what I will do is I will go to screen 1, which is basically the loading screen, and then I will make sure that to create an event for it. So I will select screen 1 from the outline, and now I can see here where it shows add events. I will just go ahead and add event, and where I say on page load, and then I will select here pause, and then I will select here 3000 milliseconds, meaning 3 seconds, So now I created an event. Now I'll add another event by right clicking on this event. So add action after selected. Now on page load, I will go ahead and select and then link it to the login screen. So now I can just add fade, just make it look fancier, and then I'll say okay. So now I'm done with this. So now if I simulate it really quick, this is how it looks like. It's loading and then automatically opens the login for me. So now I would add. So now there is something that is not correct with the password input box. So I need to fix that. I don't want people to see my password when I am entering it. So to do that, I will need to go back to this. Here, the password input box, and then I can change the type of this input text box into password. So now when I simulate, I should be able to. So now it's loading. And then I should be able to insert a username and then the password. Now you can see it. Now we can just go ahead and add some more events for the other create the other screens. So I will stop here and then we will continue.